there is no greater villain in our history than Raavan. Shri Ram ka Mandir hai, I think we've all waited for the longest time and we are a very blessed generation that it's happened in our lifetime. जब आप चाहे महाभारत या रामायण जैसे ग्रंथ को interpret करते हैं सिनेमा में, I think the most important thing is your intent. Why me? It's happened to all actors. Tell me which actor is not typecast. Name one actor. Someone like a Ranbir Kapoor, for example, he's so talented, we all know. My father is neither a producer, neither a director, neither a star, neither did we have the kind of moolah where he could say, you know what, I'm going to launch you. जितने लोग होते हैं उनसे ज़्यादा ही धक्के खाए हैं because of my physicality being a certain way. I remember when I went for even things like modeling and all, I was rejected because I'm 6'4". You know, I would really like to work with Chiyaan Vikram. Rohit Bhai is an elder brother to me, so I don't think it would be a friendly bond, but he's older and he treats me like a younger brother. She's far more popular than me on television. Now that my daughters come, that responsible side of me is come more to the fore, and supposedly one of the biggest films made in Kannada so far.
Hello everyone, I am Gayatri Nirmal and today we have a guest who is often mistaken for his giant personality, but trust me, he has the most tender heart. Please welcome Nikitin Dheer.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, Nikitin. How are you?
I'm good, yeah.
Okay, so this look that you have right now is for Raavan that you're playing in Shrimad Ramayan. How has this entire experience been of portraying such a huge, magnanimous character?
It's been a fantastic journey, to be very honest, and I think every actor's dream to play a character like Raavan, one of the greatest characters in many ways, and along with the darkness and the rage and all of that is a lot of devotion, a lot of grit, a lot of determination. So lots to learn from him. At the same time, there is no greater villain in our history than Raavan. Yet revered, yet जब आप शिव की पूजा करते हैं तो इन्हीं के मंत्र बोले जाते हैं. So the dichotomy of his characters just immensely, you know, it sucks you in, and there's so much to learn and read and understand about him. So I feel it's extremely enriching for any artist to be able to play a character like him. And I think Mahadev has been very kind and the audience has been very kind, and I have received nothing but lots of love and blessings from the audience, and I'm really grateful. The journey's just begun and long ways to go. And yeah, I'm just really excited about what's to happen with Raavan.
So I remember I was called for the screening of this show, and when you entered on the screen, I was like, wow, the screen presence was mind-blowing. That was the aura that you carried with you. It was really great.
Thank you so much. I think, you know, yes, I did prepare a lot for it. I remember around a month prior to shooting, the first 5 episodes, I had already memorized all my lines, perhaps my co-actors' lines as well. But having said that, I think it's the team along with you, the light department, my DOP, my director, the writers, because, you know, as we all know that cinema is a director's medium and television is a writer's medium. So you may be the best actor in the world, but if you don't have much to say in television, it's a very big handicap. So the way Raavan was written and the intricacies, and the first time when you see him, you understand his life story and his psyche. So automatically you, whether you like him or not, you take a decision, and also you realize why he is the way he is.
Absolutely.
So yes. I think all of those, you know, fabrics together brought about that thing on screen that everybody just enjoyed watching.
You know, even the VFX for that matter.
Yes.
It's really great.
Yes.
I think one of the first shows on television that has had such great VFX.
Yeah, we've tried our best to, you know, cater to the youth of 2024. And they are used to watching a lot of OTT, and, you know, like a series like Game of Thrones, their budgets are insane. They take years for a season to come, you know. They take how many months for one episode. We don't have that luxury, and especially of time and budgets and all of that included. But I think with everything in mind, Sony and Swastik are doing a fantastic job. We're trying to bring forth the best possible entertainment along with the gyan of Ramayana, which is very important, so that in a way this generation also is educated in ways that we were by our grandparents. And I think the way they are making it is a little different, because nowadays, especially in metros, we live in a society which is where families are very like nuclear families. माँ बाप दोनों काम कर रहे हैं. कभी कभी बच्चों के साथ ऐसी बातें करना या समझाना मुश्किल होता है. You don't remember, you've not read about it in a while. So with the way our show is being made, the smallest intricacies are being spoken about. So perhaps parents can watch it again with their children and revisit all these things and refresh themselves also, and they'll have answers for their children.
Right.
Like now the episodes that are on, they talk about कि मांग में सिंदूर क्यों भरा जाता है, जो हम फेरे लेते हैं उनका क्या महत्व होता है. हर चीज़ that is there in our tradition has value and it has meaning, and I think we were trying to bring forth that, which is I think a lovely thing,
Yeah.
apart from just the entertainment bit of it.
And also the fact that the show and the actual Ram Mandir inauguration happened at the same time. It just coincided. So that also added to it.
Yeah, I feel, in the larger picture, shows and movies and all come and go, but jo Shri Ram ka Mandir hai, I think we've all waited for the longest time, and we are a very blessed generation that it's happened in our lifetime. People have waited close to 500 years for it. So I think the comparison is very bleak, as in we are just a show, and but yes, we are very fortunate. We had announced our show much earlier, before the announcement of the date had come for Shri Ram Mandir in Ayodhya ji, and I think having said that, yes, but I think irrespective, it's a very beautiful thing for every Indian.
There have been many adaptations of Ramayan, and we also had a film named Adipurush that
Yes.
came up. It received a lot of criticism for the portrayal of its characters, the dialogues. So what are the things that you all kept in mind as makers, as actors, to ensure that you do not hurt the sentiments of the audience in any way?
So, when I met Siddharth for the first time with regard to this, he's a friend of mine. He and I were meaning to collaborate together for so many years, and many a times it was very close कि बस करने ही वाले हैं, and something or the other didn't work out. So when he called me for Ramayan and Raavan, he earlier offered me something else in Ramayan. I said I would love to do Raavan if it works out. Then he thought about it. He's like, okay, come home, we'll meet. So my first question to him was the same, that Ramayan इतनी बार बन चुकी है, 20-25 एक्टर्स रावण का किरदार निभा चुके हैं, तो हम फिर से क्यों बना रहे हैं इसे, मतलब हम क्या नया दिखा रहे हैं. तो his answer was very clear, that I want to make it with the right intent. For example, रामलीला हर साल होती है, कई 100 जगहों में होती है all over India, और हज़ारों साल से हो रही है, और हमारे जाने के बाद भी हर साल होगी. So it holds relevance irrespective. The story holds relevance because it teaches you something each day of the Ramleela. And similarly, a story like a Ramayana or Mahabharata can only be said in the long format. You need a television series. For example, if you would have made this in OTT, we come out with one season of 20 episodes, you would watch all of them together. But when it comes on television, every day we show you a little bit. It's easier for audiences of a certain age to grasp, hold on to it, sleep over it, and come back the next day. And basically, the reason why Ramayana again is because we are visiting characters in a different way. For example, we visited Raavan at a much earlier stage of his life. When Arvindji played Raavan in the Ramayana, the great Ramayana that had come, it was at a much later stage of his life. Here we are catching Raavan from his so-called earlier days, because his life has been so vast and big. So, एक graph, how Dashrath got his name, how Raavan got his name. ऐसे, smaller stories are also being touched upon. And I think that is the beauty of Ramayana. And I think जब आप चाहे महाभारत या रामायण जैसे ग्रंथ को इंटरप्रेट करते हैं सिनेमा में, I think the most important thing is your intent. And you have to keep your devotion intact. And as long as you have these two things happening for you, as actors, as makers, you can't go wrong. I sincerely believe that. And we as a unit have that as a very conscious, motto. So I think whoever's wavered is when you try to be too cool, or you try to interpret it in your own way. Some things don't need interpretation; they're already interpreted. All you need to do is showcase it like it is been
As
written.
it is, yes.
And also a different thing. जो पहले रामायण जो सबसे फेमस रामायण है रामानंद सागर जी की, दैट इज बेस्ड ऑन तुलसीदास जी की रामायण, जिसमें आपके किरदार आए थे ब्लैक एंड वाइट, ब्लैक और वाइट, यू नो. बट वी आर आर रामायण इज बेस्ड आउट ऑफ वाल्मीकि's रामायण, which is where your characters have a lot of grey shades. So if you talk about for example a Kaikai, and everyone knows what happened, what she did, but the why changes the dynamic. And I think in 2024 our audiences have changed, have evolved. Kids nowadays, you can't just tell them ye karo. The first question will be why. So that why is being addressed in our Ramayana, which is, I feel, a game changer. And also I feel one of the most pertinent questions that we can ask as humans is why. And if you get an answer to that, it changes your whole dynamic. So I think that is been our funda as far as this Ramayana is concerned.
And trust me, it's convincing enough.
जी.
Yeah.
But we are, like I said, we are not making things up. It's सब शास्त्रों में है. आप अगर बड़े शहरों में नहीं तो अगर आप छोटे शहरों में जाएं तो वहाँ के मंदिर के ही पंडित आपको ये कहानियाँ सारी सुना देंगे. और अब भी जो आगे भी आने वाली हैं, you know, a lot of that. So even the mantras for mantra for Raavan, जो इतने सारे प्रचलित मंत्र हैं, I try to memorize them and try to say it during the show. It makes the character more believable and more real, which is my effort. You know, I want him to be as real as I can make him.
The language used is Shuddh Hindi with Sanskrit words also. So as an actor, how challenging it is for you to memorize those chants, because you cannot go wrong with the pronunciation.
So I have been brought up in a school which had Sanskrit. So I've studied Sanskrit till I think 9th. And apart from that, हमारे घर में हिंदी सब बहुत बढ़िया बोलते हैं. And in my career, I have had an opportunity to play North Indian characters, especially from UP. And because of that, my accent and my diction has changed and has become even clearer, I feel, over time. And like I said, because I've studied Sanskrit, for me, mantras are easy to grasp and learn. And as far as the language is concerned, हमने पूरी कोशिश की है कि yes, having it intact, not adding words which are slang and all of that, but trying to keep it as simplified so that audiences can understand. ऐसा नहीं हो कि आपको यार मुझे गूगल करना पड़ेगा ये क्या बोला है. We have tried not to do that, but at the same time keep it true to form, you know, true to where the place and the time, trying to bring back that era as much as we can.
So I also wanted to ask that when you portray negative characters on screen, people tend to typecast you in that. So has that ever been with you?
Why me? It's happened to all actors. Tell me which actor is not typecast. Name one actor. Someone like a Ranbir Kapoor, for example. He's so talented, we all know. After his career, since the longest time, now he's been able to do some action which is done well. He's tried to do action for the longest time and people haven't accepted him. They've only accepted him as that lover boy who's a rebel. You talk about any actor. So every actor that there is typecast, and nobody can do everything. So I think the fact that you're typecast as a villain is a very big zone. You can do a lot of things. And I think you should learn to flourish in that as much as you can. Because no matter what you do, ऐसा ही होने वाला है. After all the work I've done, अगर कल को मैं बोलूँ यार, you know, I want to play a college boy who's this romantic and who's bullied, it'll never work only because that is not the image I carry forth. And so I think you have to be very true to yourself at the end of the day and have very realistic approach towards yourself. Because our industry is such that when you are doing well, a lot of people say a lot of flowery things to you, but you should know your truth, I feel. As long as you know that, I think there's always a way forward.
But did you ever try to break that image that has been created?
Of course I did, and I think in movies like Shersha, people have really liked me in a positive shade, which I try to do very close and very like slice of life. At the same time, that intensity of the character was there. Because of finally the movie came on OTT, we had to cut off some things, but the character I did was one of the bravest soldiers. He was called Indian Rambo, all of that. If you read up on Just Rotia, he's outstanding. So then I think IPF is also released and people have really liked me as Rana also. That also is an out and out positive character. So I've tried my best, like I said, whatever my physicality is and whatever it gives me and takes away from me, keeping that in mind, I've always tried to, do different things. I've done comedy also. I've done, I started my career with Jodha Akbar, which was again a very tough film to do, very dicey film to do. But I tried it, and I've always taken chances on myself. So, and I'll continue to do that, to keep doing that. It's very important for me.
Yes. So that's what we have seen you do: films, TV shows, series. You've been doing all of them. So was it a conscious decision, or it just one thing led to another and it just kept on happening?
When I was preparing as an actor and all of that, there were books that we used to read. So there was a book which had a very simple line that no actor is greater than a medium. So I've always stuck to that. चाहे आप एक्टिंग, अभी अगर यहाँ मुझे आप कहें एक्टिंग करने के लिए तो कैमरास हैं, तो आप ऐसा नहीं है कि माई एफर्ट विल बी लेस. अगर आप थिएटर में कर रहे हैं तो यू हैव अ लाइव ऑडियंस बट यू आर स्टिल गिविंग योर बेस्ट. इफ इट्स अ रेडियो शो, योर वॉइस इज एक्टिंग, सो यू हैव टू डू. So I feel it is very important for an actor to keep exploring. So yes, I do series also, I do OTT also, I do movies also, and by God's grace, I keep getting opportunities around the spectrum. I work in Hindi cinema also. I've done Telugu. We're doing Kannada also. God willing, I'll do Malayalam and Tamil also very soon. So I honestly feel that it is very important for an actor. It keeps your tools sharpened. And yes, I came back to television for Ramayan because it was something that I really wanted to do. And not too long ago, I think post-COVID only, once Mahabharat had come on DD, or during COVID it had come.
During COVID.
So on YouTube, I was watching old interviews because I was very young when it came. So I was watching Shri B.R. Chopra ji's interview. He was one of the biggest production houses of his time. In the 1980s, he spent, I think, 9 crores and some lakhs on Mahabharat. And he said that I am the #1 production house, one of the biggest in India, but I'm doing this on television because I cannot say the story in film. So that interview somewhere stuck in my head, and I realized that if you ever want to play Raavan, the only way to do is to come back on television. And I think it's very fortunate for me that someone like Swastik is making it, because they have proven themselves.
Yes.
Time and again that they are the kings of the zone. And we have had the best support from Sony. I think you've come for the events also, and the way they are really helping us prop it up, and the awareness, and the kind of free hand that they've given us. It is really nice. So I think the whole setting is very conducive to great work happening.
Your dad also has played the role of Karn in Mahabharat. So he's also done mythological shows. You are also doing...
It's history actually.
It's history.
Now proven history.
Now proven history.
Yeah.
So did you take any sort of feedback from him or advice on portraying this character?
I think I've been here a while now. So at this point in time, my father eventually just tells me, you should always follow your gut and just do what you want. And... So when I started preparing for Raavan, he used to say that, you are playing Raavan, you're going to be compared, and also you better be ready. I said, yeah, I'm ready. Let's see what happens. And I didn't share much with him. I think shared one picture with him before the release. And I said, the rest you see when it releases. And he saw the episode along with everybody else. And I remember he was over the moon, and some things he said will always stay with me. And I think this was the first time my dad didn't have any criticism for me. He was just really happy, and he said, at one point he said, "Ki तूने तो मुझसे भी अच्छा किया." I think that was my greatest victory coming from him, because for me Karn is Karn. Nothing is, no warrior was like him. So it was just really nice for him to say something like that to me, and very encouraging. And so that kind of gave me the boost to want to move forth even with more power.
So, since your father was already a name in the industry, did it make it easier for you, or you had your own challenges to set foot in the industry?
My father was a name, but in television industry. My father is neither a producer, neither a director, neither a star, neither did we have the kind of moolah where he could say, you know what, I'm going to launch you. So it was never like that. When I finally decided to be an actor, my father just said that all you can perhaps get from me is wisdom, as far as the line is concerned. Apart from that, it's going to be your struggle, your journey. So I've stood in every line along with everybody else. And शायद जितने लोग होते हैं उनसे ज़्यादा ही धक्के खाए हैं because of my physicality being a certain way. I remember when I went for even things like modeling and all, I was rejected because I'm 6'4", and the fixed sizes that they give models would not fit me. From the sleeves would not fit me. Like even now the shirt I'm wearing doesn't fit, so it's folded. So that's why most of the time I wear shirts which are tailored. So all of that is always been my thing. But I've always felt that when you're made a certain way and God gives a thought in your mind, which is a steady thought, not just a fleeting one, there's a reason for that. So you must pursue it with all the vigor you have. So yeah, I mean, apart from, yes, him being my father, everything else I've got on merit, which I can very proudly say. So yeah, nothing else is handed down to you.
You worked in films down south. So an actor that you really look up to and you wish to share your screen with him, him or her.
Yeah, I would really like to work with Chiyaan Vikram. He's one actor I really look up to. And I feel if I ever get a Tamil film, I wanted to be with him. I think there's going to be so much to learn. But apart from that, actors down south, they have a very different take on things because their stories are very close to their own towns, close to earth, close to all of that. That's why it hits harder.
Yeah.
So I think one gets to learn a lot in just their kind of storytelling that they have. So yeah, but he's one actor I would really like to work with.
And in Hindi films, you've already worked with a lot of them.
Ji.
But one actor or an actress that you still wish to share screen space
with Ranbir, I would love to work with Ranbir. In fact, I had met him recently on a flight. I actually told him, I said, dude, I really hope we get an opportunity to work together. I really admire him as an artist. I think I still feel there's like so much that he's going to do, which is going to be quite awesome.
Yes. And that brings me to my next question, which is, do you feel that as an actor, your skills have been used to its maximum potential? Or there's a lot that, within you've got to show
I
out?
can only say this much, that till date, Raavan is going to be the best of me because it has the potential to explore a lot of shades. Already so much has been explored, which I don't think even in films we get to show so many sides. And abhi to bahut kuch hona baki hai. So I can only say that, and I consciously am picking up work that is non-repetitive. If you see my filmography, small though, but I've tried my level best to not repeat myself, and that's always going to be my endeavor. I don't want to be the kind of guy who does the same thing over and over.
Okay, one thing that as an actor, the challenges that as an actor you have faced to survive in this business.
I don't know, there's so many challenges, to be very honest. I think, actors are a very insecure breed, and it's just, वो ना चाहते हुए भी वैसे होते हैं, because आपका बोलते हैं ना दुकान और क्या बोलते हैं your shop यही है, तो अगर आपके बगल में कोई और अच्छी खूबसूरत दुकान आ जाती है तो आप आदमी वैसे ही हिल जाता है. And एक ये होड़ होती है, to try to be relevant, to times. Like I've seen so many actors, like for example, a Ranbir, the way he dresses, that's him. It's always been him. Even before he was a star and all, I've seen him, he's always been very comfortable. But I know actors who've never dressed like that, who started dressing like him and they look like idiots. Because that's not them, they're just trying to blend in.
Someone, yeah.
So I just feel that you must have your individuality at the end of it. And I think, everything is also linked to your success and failure. Jab tak things are going well, you feel, what, I'm rocking, everything's good. The minute it doesn't do well, you start questioning your whole existence. And then everything starts like, oh, maybe this, maybe that, and the other. So I think for every actor, somewhere down the line, you have to just learn to be calm through it all. And I think once you've seen enough failures, you become calm. Yeah. Even though success doesn't excite you, ये तो होने वाला है, अभी 4 दिन के बाद सब शांत हो जाएंगे. So yeah, so I think eventually for any actor, the most important thing is to just stay calm and just be yourself.
Yes. Your association with Rohit Shetty has been really long. We see you all share a very friendly bond, brotherly bond. So how has it been with him?
No, Rohit Bhai is an elder brother to me. So I don't think it would be a friendly bond, but he's older and he treats me like a younger brother. And yes, he's given me some of the best work of my life. And he's the only person I've met who's told me, the way you are, strong and be true to yourself, and just that's what I want, and that's what is your uniqueness. Otherwise, all the actors will look the same. And he's always encouraged me to, be myself, and he's always somehow tapped parts of me that have not been tapped earlier. So I have utmost respect for him. I mean, he's given me opportunities which no one has given.
Yeah.
And yeah, as long as I'm here, I would love to be a part of a Rohit Shetty film.
Yes, we would love to see you
Yes.
be a
Thank you
part
so
of
much.
Rohit
Thank
Shetty
you.
films.
Thank you so much.
Okay, now we'll talk a little about your personal life.
Okay.
So you and Kratika both have been popular faces of the television, and it was an arranged.
She's far more popular than me on television, for sure.
It was an arranged marriage, right?
In Pinkvilla only, we've had this whole discussion about our marriage. Now it's going to be nearly 10 years. So I think you should stop treating us like these newlyweds. And yeah, we're just a normal couple like everybody else.
Relationships have become very fragile these days, and you guys are thick. And
Yes.
So what's the recipe for a happy marriage?
I don't know I don't know of a recipe and all. I just know that you have to be friends. And I don't think anyone should feel superior to the other, or anyone should feel ki, you know, I'm the man, you're the woman. I think it doesn't exist. I think, like I always tell Kratika, I think you're born to act, and now that we have a child, she's taken a conscious break. And I somehow, I've seen my sister also go through it with children, and the way her body's changed and the mind goes through so much. But when I've seen it firsthand with Kratika, my respect for women is on another level only, because physically they endure so much, and emotionally they go through so much. And someone like her who's been working her entire life is now close to 2 years she's not working, or even more perhaps. And I think abhi usko offers bhi aate hain, so she's like, no, my child is still young, I'll take it up in a while. So I mean, a lot of respect for that, and I feel it's very important to understand where you're coming from at the end of the day. Everything doesn't stay the same hunky-dory all the time. But I think that's the beauty of marriage, that you try your best to be there for each other at the end of the day.
After entering fatherhood, do you see any changes in yourself?
Yeah, I think, overall I was a very bohemian kind of guy. Before I got married, I've said this earlier also, before I got married, मैं काम करता था, फिर जो थोड़े बहुत पैसे कमाता था, I used to go disappear, travel करता था, कहीं भी जाता था. जब पैसे खत्म हो जाते थे तो फिर बॉम्बे आ जाता था. And then I would say, यार, I need to get some more work. फिर कहीं ना कहीं कुछ थोड़ा बहुत काम मिलता था, again I would disappear. When I got married, I got a little more responsible, and I decided कि नहीं यार, you got to work, and you got to there's a way. And now that my daughters come, that responsible side of me is come more to the fore, and I think somewhere that has changed a lot. That now things are just for her more than anything else.
We all are awaiting the release of your Kannada film, which is Martin Plus. So if you're allowed to speak about it, would you like to speak?
Yeah, the film is called Martin. It's supposed to release, I think, soon this year, first half, and we just have a couple of days work left in it. And yeah, it's supposedly one of the biggest films made in Kannada so far. So all-out action extravaganza, if I may say so, and very exciting thriller. And just waiting to see how the audiences like it. And again, a character which I have not done earlier, very very suave and very sophisticated and very clean in many ways. Yeah.
So what's next after this?
So as of now, I'm totally engrossed and submerged in Raavan, which is going to be here for a while. Apart from that, we have some things happening on the side, a couple of OTT shows that are in the pipeline, a couple of films. So as and when that happens, obviously we'll talk about it.
Okay, that's all.
Thank
you so much, Nikitin, for talking to us.
Thank you.
And all the best for whatever you do.
Yes, thank you so much. I hope you guys like it.
Loved it.
Hi, this is Nikitin Dheer, and you're watching me on Pinkvilla.